In today's society, especially with social media, a lot of times mothers will feel inadequate and be made to feel like they are not doing things right if they don't do certain things. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about helping and showing you a few things that you may not have known about. And I would love to hear from you if you have any tips of things that I may not know about. Now that my baby is about 2 months old, I have tons of newborn tips for you guys. I'm going to start off with a pumping tip. The first tip, there are several here. The first one is just to get a hand pump. If you are pumping off and on instead of investing in an electronic pump, I feel like I can get a lot more from my hand pump than I ever could from an electronic pump. Of course, that's going to vary person by person, but you can change out the flange and have it fit just for you. And it's so much simpler. You can nurse on one side while you feed the baby on the other. And my second tip about that is that if you do have a pump that you are using with a removable flange, you can remove the flange and use it as a funnel for when you put the breast milk into the freezer bags or even into the bottles, and it makes moving the milk from the pump bottle into something else so much easier and simpler, no spills, and no need to dirty up any other dishes. After doing that, I simply write the date and the ounce that's in the bag onto there so that I don't forget. Obviously, you can label it however you need to with your baby's name or anything like that as well, but that's just how I do it because I only have one baby right now. I do not pump exclusively, but I do pump a little bit for if I need to transition my baby from breast milk to formula. I did that with my second son. He was on formula for a few months, around 8 months to 11 months, and this helped a ton, just having a little bit extra in the freezer. My second tip is you can make your own homemade baby powder using just 3 things: just a little shaker bottle, Arrowroot powder, which is super cheap, you can get it at any health food store, and some cornstarch. And that way you do not need to be using any sort of talc or scented powder on your baby. This stuff goes a long ways. I bought my Arrowroot powder by the pound. I believe I got 1 pound and it filled up 3 quart-sized jars, and that was with my second baby, and I still have tons. My third tip is when you're changing a diaper. Obviously, I am not going to show my baby, but I am going to do my best on my arm here. When you are changing your baby's diaper and you need to use diaper cream, it can be really messy, but if you squeeze a little bit onto your knuckle, instead of worrying about one of those little rubber spatulas for it, if you squeeze a little bit onto your knuckle and then wipe it on, and then just wipe the excess off onto the clean diaper, it will give you a little extra protection for them. Your hand will come out clean and nothing will be stuck under your nails. Tip number 4, and this is kind of a conglomerate of tips as well. This is all about bath time. I like to have a heater running. I like to lay everything out, and I like to make sure that the diaper and the new clothes are sitting relatively in front of the heater, as well as any lotion or oil that I'm going to use. I like to use jojoba oil especially when they are new. That way nothing interferes with them and there's no allergic reactions or anything like that. I like to roll up a towel and have it on the floor so that my knees aren't just hurting by the end. And I like to have 2 burp cloths here. Those are just tri-fold cloth diapers. I like to use Shea Moisture. I feel like it's a really natural brand that you can get just about anywhere. And I also like to use Dr. Bronner's Castile soap, but I really do love this Shea Moisture brand. If you like scents and just calming things that smell good when your baby comes out of the bath, this is a really good brand for that. The Dr. Bronner's also smells like essential oils. I will start off with my baby on the towel. I will undress him right there in front of the heater, making sure that everything I need for after the bath is also there. And then it makes it so much easier whenever I pull him out to not have screaming, crying, cold baby. I will put one of those burp cloths down on his bath sling and have another one ready to go on top of him. Excuse my kids' toys. I do love these tri-fold burp cloths. I use them as burp cloths. They're actually diapers, but I find that they are just the perfect size to catch everything and to protect your shirts, especially when your baby is teeny tiny and possibly spitting up a lot more. And now I come to tip number, well, this is probably like 6 or 7 by now. Whenever you have diapers that have that little scrunchie on the back, it can be really hard when you take them off the baby to not get the little tabs into the dirty mess. So I just like to fold the tabs back or down whenever I take them off. That way they don't get into the mess and you have a clean tab to fold up the diaper after you are done. This works really great, and I don't end up getting anything on my hands when I go to throw the diaper away. The next tip is swaddle blankets. I absolutely love Aiden and Anais swaddle blankets. I just fold them down and fold them over and around the baby. And my favorite thing about the Aiden and Anais is they actually have a 1, 2, 3 swaddle tip on the side, where if you forget or get turned around or someone else swaddles the baby, there is basically step-by-step instructions on exactly how to swaddle without bundling them up too tight or in the wrong way. And I also like to roll my swaddles to put them away. I feel like this is the easiest and fastest way to store them. I have this small dresser that I bring out whenever I have a baby. I just find that having the baby's clothes all in one place in whichever room that I need it to be in works really great. And this particular one is also just the perfect size for a changing table. When they are teeny tiny, I do like to have a changing table, but I don't like that extra piece of furniture as far as an actual changing table. Now, when it comes to changing your baby's clothes, I like to work in a 1, 2, 3, 4 way. I like to go around their body whenever there is a zipper function on the sleeper. That way, by the time I get to the zipper, their feet aren't pulled out again. And then when it comes to the snaps, I like to snap up the legs just a little bit. That way, again, when you have a little kicking baby, they're not just pulling their legs out as soon as you put them in, and by the time you get back down to do the rest of it, their feet are still inside. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you learned something new, and if not, well, I hope that you know that you are not alone, and motherhood is very hard, and everyone just needs some tips to help it go by a little easier. Let me know down below if you have any tips for me. I would love to hear them. Thank you guys. See you in the next one.